Well, after a tough first 2 days for the Indians, it's safe to say that the third day belonged to them. Shubman Gill, what an innings from him. Some really good looking shots, some really crisp shots, as I would like to call it. And it was an it was a treat to watch that innings from him. And perfectly supported by Pujara as well and Rohit Sharma early on, but he couldn't kick on. I have with me my co-host as always, Shabel, who doesn't look that happy today. Uh, and after the first 2 days and the last test match, he can see that the test is slowly slipping away, but let's see what he has to say about the day.
I think it's gone exactly the way I expected. India finishing what, three for nearly 300. I think I was sort of expecting that to happen. As well as Australia try today. It's a good batting pitch still, and India have expectedly done well. But Rohit Sharma will definitely be kicking himself
Yeah, absolutely. And
after getting dismissed that way.
I think it was poor from Rohit Sharma as well. It was a poor shot and it was a soft dismissal. But what I like to say is, it was really commendable from Steve Smith the tactics that he tried to use when things were not going his in Australia's way. Especially against Pujara and Shubman Gill, he showed some really proactive captaincy. He showed some really good field settings, but the plans did not quite go their way even then, but at least he was
Mm.
he was getting involved with there were field changes, there were bowling changes, but I know you are disappointed at the lack of use of Matt Kuhneman. He wasn't used as much in the innings
Yeah, I
today.
mean, it
What
was
do you
like
have to
that with
say?
Murphy. It was like that with Murphy at one stage. I think before Murphy came on and took that great wicket of Pujara, he was very underbowled before that. I think he had bowled three of the first, however many overs just before tea or something stupid like that. So it was a bit strange that those two spinners were underbowled a little bit. Perhaps the inexperience, and Smith wanted to maybe try and get a head start with the experienced bowlers, perhaps. But I thought
But even
those two
then,
could have
like
been
even then,
used.
Stark wasn't up to his best. I mean, I think this
Yeah,
pitch, when it comes to this pitch, it's not, Stark's not the ideal
yeah. If
option
it's not
for it.
if it's not reverse if it's not reversing for him, it's very tough. So yeah, I thought the two other finger spinners other than Line could have got a little bit more. I think Todd Murphy was used a lot more later in the day and bowled really well. But I thought Kunneman to the two right-handers in particular. I know Jadeja took it to him at the end there, but
Yeah.
yeah, could have been used a little bit more. But um,
But I think this
yeah,
is this is the perfect test for Matthew Kuhneman and Todd Murphy to
for
to sort
sure.
of make them understand what it is at the test match level. For the first three tests,
Yeah,
they've had it pretty easy, I would say. In terms of the
yeah,
pitch, everything's assisting them. The catch is going their way. But this one, it's a flat
yep.
pitch. The batters are doing well, and the plans are not quite going their way as well. So this is the perfect test for them, and I seriously, sincerely hope tomorrow when it comes to India, they bat long, they bat the whole day, perhaps till
Yep.
the till let's say till at least half of the last session, so
Still
that they
plenty of batting to come, so that's very
absolutely,
possible, man. Yeah,
absolutely, because there's Shreyas Iyer who's a
yeah.
full-fledged batter still to come. Again, disappointed
And
by sending Ravindra
actually,
Jadeja. I don't know why that was needed. Um, is he a full time number five now that Rishabh Pant's not there for a
um,
while? I don't know, but
might
this
not
was
be
the
a full time number five. I'll probably change it up with the left hand option potentially
maybe.
there, left hand, right hand kind of thing. And he's looked very good, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, yeah. I'm not saying he hasn't looked good. He has looked very good, but this was the perfect time to send Akshar Patel up as well and give him batting promotion. But yeah,
Mm.
that's not happening from this management. So again, a poor decision, I would say. And tomorrow, I think hopefully, if they bat long, let's take the lead. Let's score 500, 550, 600. Let's bat once. Hopefully, they can get it to 650 as well. But you know, three three
Yeah,
three seventy three
don't have to
seventy
ask for too
runs.
much, mate.
Yeah, 370 runs in one day would be
It's
a
tough
bit
because
of a
it's
stretch.
it's a slow low pitch,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Australia have bowled well,
Yeah.
and hitting on the up or playing the cross batted shots is like a no on this pitch.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
look at the players cross batted shots,
yeah,
they've
yeah,
been put
absolutely.
put in the closet. Yeah.
Unless there is there is a miracle, it's safe to say that this test match is headed for a draw,
It
unless there
is,
is a
but
miracle tomorrow.
the ball. Look, what I'm what I'm a bit worried about now. The ball has started turning now. It's weird to say that when Australia are nearly 200 in front, but I think you've still got a lot of depth in their batting to come, and they can at least get on par with Australia's total. They'll be
Man,
expecting to do that.
don't go there.
And
You know you're an Arsenal fan. If it falls apart quickly. So
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
go
So,
there.
so, so what I'm saying is, if you let me finish,
No, I'm saying from an
it,
Indian point of view as well.
yeah, I understand. I know, but say but say India get par at least with Australia, and then the ball's starting to spin, and then there could be a little bit of panic in that third innings. That's where India got to look at as the potential victory point. But
Yeah.
I think India today.
Sweep him. Just play the sweep.
Oh, don't remind me of Delhi. Yeah. Oh, anyway, I mean, look, India played it well today. I think there was probably a few comments that I saw of upping the run rate, but I think
Oh,
I
I
think they
think
played the I think they played the right way today. They've set up the platform to give themselves a chance tomorrow onwards. Um, but yeah, the draw is the favoured result.
yep.
Um, I personally think it's very hard to see Australia winning from here because you have to get the lead, you have to bowl and get out, take the remaining 7 wickets, get enough runs to get in front, and then take another 10 wickets.
Yep.
That's very, very unrealistic now.
I'll tell you what, tomorrow if certain someone scores 100, I'm just going to lie on the floor and take a deep breath and just stay there for a while.
Soak it in,
Soak
soak
it
it
in.
in.
Oh,
He's played well today, and he's
he's
played well
played
all series. To be
excellent
fair,
today.
yeah,
His control, at one stage, I think when he was on 30, 35 or 40, he middled like 96% of the balls. And
yeah.
and people don't quite grasp how difficult that is, even on a flat pitch or even when you're in peak form. Um,
I can't even middle throwdowns, man. So,
yeah, exactly, exactly. But let's hope it all goes well tomorrow, and let's hope India bats
yeah.
long. But
Speaking of big control, I mean Shubman Gill today. We talk about the left handers being elegant, but this guy super elegant. That was a
yeah,
special innings from him.
yeah, and it was absolutely brilliant. The shots he played, he attacked the ball
Mm,
at the right time. You know, he picked the perfect balls to attack as well. He picked the gaps right, and the two shots that he played off Cameron Green, the back foot punch through covers and the cover drive through the gap, that was absolutely sublime.
all
One of the
class.
best shots I've ever seen, and which brings me to my next point and a question to you. I think the last couple of tests, as great as he is and he's going to be, I think it's safe to say from my point of view, as a second Australian fan, Australia is my second team, that Cam Green is not quite ready to be the second choice seamer. He was never going
Yeah,
to be, but I think you do need like a Stark, Cummins, and then Green, who can be
yeah.
sort of that relief bowler,
Agree
because
with you. Agree with you on that.
he's not going to run through batting lineups.
Yeah, and that's sort of my point. It's that he's not the finished article yet. He's had some good spells in Test cricket, but he's not the finished article yet. And particularly when he's not used to bowling in these conditions, this is an unforgiving pitch for seamers. Yeah, I thought
But even sorry,
there's not enough consistency.
even when it comes to Ashes, I don't think he can be that
Look,
second
the thing
choice
he's not going to be
seamer as
second
well.
choice in the Ashes. You're going
Yeah,
to have three frontline seamers, and
yeah,
then you're going to have Green. So you have him as the support
yeah,
fifth bowling option, and you'll fill in with overs during the day. That's completely different.
yeah,
Here, I think Australia have gone in with the right combination. Personally, I think they've done the right thing in terms of this attack on this pitch. I think Scott Boland would have been consistent, but I don't think he would have been very threatening
yeah.
on this surface. You'd rather play spinners who've done well in this series. Um, I want to touch on Shubman Gill and Kohli a little bit in a sec, but I think Todd Murphy talked about the Australian spinners learning on this pitch. He was really impressive. I think to get Pujara out in that way on this surface, that was a really special bit of
That was
bowling.
unexpected. It was against the
That was nice.
run of play, and I think it looked like Pujara lost a bit of concentration there, but I think it was
It was a good ball.
good ball. It was good bowling
That's
from
one
top
that
Murphy.
spun off the center of the pitch that hasn't happened all test really. And yeah, just got him, just beat the inside edge. Bad review. That's
Yeah,
not that's as plumb as it gets. Unless you hit that, you should not be reviewing. Just walk straight off
yeah,
for the sake of your team. I think some of these reviews that it irks me because it's a team game. You got to think of your team rather than yourself in that situation. You know if you're plumb.
yeah.
Um, Shubman Gill also reviewed one where he may have thought it might have been outside the line or spinning, but Pujara was absolutely plumb.
And
But
I think
Shubman
with
Gill played.
Shubman Gill, it was all right because he was the mainstay at that point. He was in a set batter. He was going
And it
superbly
spun
well.
more. It did
Yep,
more.
yep.
So he thought maybe he's a chance of at least an umpire's call, but still, particularly the Pujara one, I was very surprised he reviewed that. But Shubman Gill today, it was a pleasure to watch him. In terms of the shots he played, not nice that he did it to Australia, but you just got to look at it and say this guy's a fantastic player, and he's doing it across formats as well.
Yep,
What he's doing
absolutely.
in white ball, very exciting player. And Virat, we need him very quickly in the morning, but he's looking very solid
Shh,
again.
don't say anything. Um, well, that's day
Uh,
three. That's day three review, moving day as they call it. A lot happened today, for India, and hopefully, uh, Australian fans will be hoping that the pendulum swings their way tomorrow, and me as an Indian fan definitely looking for India to bat 500 plus, even 600
I
plus
think
today.
I think the only team that can win from here is India. That's my honest opinion. It might seem a bit of a negative thing to say with a 190 still in front, but there's still a lot of batting to come for India, and the pitch is still
That's
good for batting. So,
that's your Arsenal fan speaking, but yeah,
uh, yeah, maybe, but I'm thinking, looking at it realistically now, before we wrap up, how quickly do you think Australia can take these 7 wickets, and what lead can they get?
I'm not jinxing anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not.
Realistically speaking, I know you don't want to jinx, but realistically speaking, you
Yeah,
still got a bloke that's averaging 92 in the
yeah, that's
sheds.
true. That's true. That's where
um,
you got Shami as well
but
there,
look,
Lord Shami as well, who can hit a few sixes,
uh,
who has a 50
so
at
can
Lords.
Umesh, so can
So
Umesh.
yeah,
But
it'll
look,
be.
hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, but that's the feeling I get now that India is the team that can look at that, applying that real third innings pressure.
Yeah, I think even if they get close to that target of 480,
Exactly. That was talking about before, about
450,
getting close.
500 there and thereabouts, I think India will be it'll be India's game to lose from there. Um, so yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow. We'll be doing this again tomorrow at the end of day four. Very interesting day tomorrow. It can go either way. I'm hoping India's way. You're hoping Australia's way. Let's see what happens. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you to our listeners. Keep watching, keep giving us the feedback, keep commenting, and keep liking and subscribing as well. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you are. Take care and stay safe. Thank you so much.